I am genuinely concerned for the future of Warzone. Every time there's a new Warzone, the question always arises, are we in for a good year, or is history gonna repeat itself once again and we're due for the same cycle? I have my own opinions, but social media is probably the most chaotic I've ever seen in the history of Warzone. For every one player I see praising the game, there's 10 tweets like this. Popular streamer Chuki said, yeah, ... Warzone is chalk. It was a good run. Charlie Intel, the owner of one of the largest Twitter Call of Duty accounts, said this. LOL, I love how with Warzone, we're doing the same thing every year now. A bunch of quality of life updates, make some good progress, and then let's reset it all and try again with the new release. A mess. Chuki also said Warzone is unplayable on mouse and keyboard. Audio doesn't work. You can leave Gulag by walking through an invisible wall. You can go into the map. Loadouts are bugged. Cheat-free weekend already. What a terrible company. Even competitive players are not happy either. Shifty, which is highly regarded as the best Warzone player right now, said, what happened to the game that I love? On top of that, even Skullface said, always 2 steps forward and 4 steps backwards with Warzone. If you go through any social media right now, you're going to see countless tweets like this. But it begs the question, are people exaggerating or is the game really that bad? YouTuber Joe seems to think differently. He said, not to glaze, but Warzone didn't feel as bad as everyone is making it out to be. Besides not hearing a single footstep, which can be fixed, and a couple of inconsistent gunfights, the timeline is acting like we just got Warzone 2 all over again. Joe does bring up a good point. I don't think we all remember how bad Warzone 2 really was. And then you have other players who seem to be somewhat in the middle. TP said, honestly, had a good time on Season 1 today. Movement feels great. The audio is pretty horrible though. I don't know if the audio has ever been this bad. Hopefully a fix soon. So after seeing so many different opinions, I decided to make a list for myself and tell you guys what I think is personally wrong with the game. So let's start off hot. First and foremost, the number one thing that's wrong with this game is the audio. Now, I'm not just talking about this is bad audio. I'm talking about the audio is genuinely non-existent. If you look at any feedback whatsoever on social media, the one thing that they all have in common is that they hear nothing. Some way, somehow, every single year on launch, the audio is just really, really bad. You would think that after 4 years, the audio can only get better, right? But for some reason, every year, it actually has gotten worse and worse and worse. In Warzone 1, I recall being able to hear absolutely everything. When Warzone 2 came out, it felt like things got worse. Then, when Modern Warfare 3 came out, it got even worse than that. I don't know what's the deal, but this seems to be a common thing across multiple games. Games like Apex, Valorant, Fortnite, they all say there's no audio. But to go this far back is actually mind-blowing. I'm going to give Call of Duty the benefit of the doubt here and claim that this just might be a bug, because there's absolutely no way that they tested this audio and said, okay, this is good enough. Now, I'm not trying to be pessimistic here, but I have to be honest and I have to give valid feedback. This audio is truly unacceptable. I made this tweet yesterday saying, not gonna lie, this is the worst audio I've ever experienced. Some people have even claimed that this is intentional due to Call of Duty selling a $20 audio enhancement. Whether this audio actually works or not, a lot of people have different opinions. Streamer Doug is Raw said, buy the Cope $22 audio, let it scan your head, select personalized, use the bass boost headphones, you're welcome. Implying that the $22 audio actually works. Hold on, stop the video. While making this video, Call of Duty just put out a tweet addressing the footstep audio. Call of Duty said, we are investigating reports of audio issues across Warzone, including concerns regarding footstep audio. We'll share any updates as they become available. Okay, this answers a couple questions in my opinion. This definitely seems like it's not intentional then. Audio is bugged at the moment. Now, the next question that arises is, how long is it going to take for them to actually fix this? Why this continues to be an issue, I still have no idea. I'm glad that they've addressed it and have stated that yes, this is happening, this is messed up. But again, why are we here in the first place? Moving on to the next issue is the time to kill. What this means is how long it takes for you to kill the enemy player. Now, this issue is one of those things that people are on both sides of the fence. As opposed to audio, where everybody agrees that audio is horrible right now, time to kill, some people state is really fast, some people debate it's really slow. YouTuber Chuki said, yo, we need a time to kill raise by deadass 50%. This is borderline unplayable, claiming that the time to kill is way too fast. Another streamer, Lucci, said the time to kill is really slow. Like, most of the weapons feel like they need 20 to 30 rounds to kill somebody. I understand player health is a divisive subject, but I just do not enjoy what they presented here. I feel like casuals will get frustrated by this as well. So I think we can all agree that time to kill right now feels very inconsistent. In my opinion, it feels like it takes 30 bullets to kill somebody, but whenever I'm getting shot at, it seems like I die in 2 to 3 bullets. This is a common thing that everybody keeps saying, and again, I don't know why. One of the homies, JGod, just released a video saying that time to kill is almost identical to Modern Warfare 3. So why does the game feel so different than what we had in Modern Warfare 3 Warzone? In my opinion, this might have something to do with weapon damage values at certain given ranges. When it comes to weapon balancing, I know it's really hard to balance weapons, but I do think this is something that they can actually fix fast. If Treyarch and Call of Duty can find a way to find some sort of consistent time to kill, I do think this will help with a lot of players feeling so different. This happens every single year where we play multiplayer, we say we love multiplayer, then the movement is transferred to Warzone, and for whatever reason, it feels slower and clunkier than multiplayer. And this year is no exception. During Call of Duty Next back in August, I gave this feedback to the devs. I said, for whatever reason, multiplayer feels so buttery smooth, but then when I played Warzone early, it felt super clunky. Call of Duty says that it's supposed to feel 1-to-1 multiplayer to Warzone. And I think we finally have an answer. I'm gonna play this clip by T-Captain, one of the homies. This is why you're getting so many dead slides and why the game feels so clunky right now.
All right, so this is one of my biggest gripes or problems that I have with the kind of movement system, especially diving and tac sprint when it comes to Black Ops 6. So if I'm standing still and I want to quickly sprint and dive, I cannot just quickly do this. If I try to quickly L3 and dive, my guy just stops and crouches. This prevents you from doing some cool stuff. Whereas let's say I wanted to quickly maybe dive out to the side here, I can't just quickly do that. I have to get momentum and go and dive. And the same thing is true with sliding. So if I wanted to just quickly, strafe right and slide cancel out, I can't. I have to get momentum, and it's a lot. Like, you have to get sprinting for a full maybe half second or so before you can do any input. You're gonna see I'm getting all these dead slides here, and I've noticed this has increased a lot, especially into the second week of the beta.
He also made another video about 2 months ago going over how it feels so different from Modern Warfare 3 to Black Ops 6.
Whereas if we jump over to MW3 and Warzone, it's a lot easier for to make these quick movements. So I barely have to move forward. I have to basically just press L3, and basically as long as I'm pressing L3, even if I'm like pretty much standing still, you can get right into a dive. And same with sliding. You can just, I'm playing on auto tac sprint, basically as soon as I press forward, I can slide. Now there still are dead slides, and I think that is an issue, but the delay from being able to sprint and then do a movement like sliding or diving is a lot less in MW3.
I don't know if we have deja vu, but this is starting to feel like Warzone 2 all over again. Now, I'm not claiming that this game is as bad as Warzone 2, right? But what I'm saying is, why are we adding delays when this game's whole pitch is fluidity? It's not just T-Captain saying this. Almost 90% of people feel the exact same way. Chuki said, some of the Omni movements feel clunky with unnecessarily delay. Is that what I'm feeling? Maybe others smarter than me can articulate what I'm feeling better. I really hope they tweak some stuff. I wish I could say I enjoyed myself today, but I didn't. My opinion is yes, it does feel clunky, but at the same time, it also feels smooth. How is that possible? Omni movement itself, being able to run and slide and dive in every direction, is amazing. The transition to doing everything and the delays between every movement just feels so unnecessarily slow. I hope that somebody out there is listening and that these changes can be made, because Omni movement is supposed to be the next evolution of Call of Duty, but right now it seems like a step backwards. In multiplayer, it feels amazing, but in Warzone, it just doesn't. For the next thing is every single animation in this game is really slow. This was the case back in Warzone 2, and in Modern Warfare 3, they fixed it. Deploying your plate boxes, deploying your munition boxes, they increased the speed of that from Warzone 2 to Modern Warfare 3. And like Charlie Intel said, the same thing happens every year where they somehow reverted it. Well, right now, you put your plate boxes and your munitions box out, and it goes at a snail's pace. Things like this, I just don't know how it happens. Modern Warfare 3 Warzone ended in a pretty decent state. There was a lot of quality of life updates that made the game really fun and playable. Now, Black Ops 6 comes out, and we're thinking we're gonna get even better. and then animations get slowed down for whatever reason. Now, it's not just plate boxes or munition boxes, but also mantling speeds. Last year's Warzone introduced a new system of having default perks. What pretty much means is you fly into Warzone with a certain amount of perks or a certain amount of abilities without having to get any perks. One of them was reloading while sprinting, and another one was increased mantle speed. These were some of the best changes ever in my opinion, and then they removed them. Going back and quoting Skullface, always 2 steps forward and 4 steps backward in Warzone. We've talked about movement, we've talked about guns, we've talked about audio. Now, what else could possibly be wrong? This is another concern that I think has gotten worse and worse over the last years. And a lot of this, again, started with Warzone 2. In Warzone 2, they introduced visual noise to the game. So anytime you got naded, smoked, or anybody even shot close to you, there would be a bunch of gray area on your screen. I'm not too sure what changed here, but the game just looks really different. Diaz Bitful, one of the homies, came into my chat yesterday, and this is the first thing he said when he saw me playing. He said, low-key, looks like some COD mobile. He didn't ask me how good the game is, what's meta. The first thing he noticed was, why does the game look so much worse? Treyarch Call of Duty has been known to be a little bit more arcadey as opposed to Infinity Ward, but I don't even think it's that. From visual noise to just textures, everything really does look like Play-Doh. Things like weapon sway, visual recoil, and just debris coming on your screen, I don't know, it just seems unnecessary. Now, those are the 5 main things that I think need to be addressed, but there's a couple little things that I think are worth mentioning. For example, there's a new change to the scoreboard. Now they show you eliminations, kills, and then assists. Why is there eliminations and kills at the same time? Eliminations are supposed to be any kill that you contribute to, so pretty much assists. And then kills are straight up kills that you actually get. This is one of the things that is just not necessary. Go back to just kills, assist, and damage. They're just making things more confusing for no reason. Another thing I've heard is that the plate drop rate feels very slow. Now, one of the constant things people are always trying to figure out is, where are the plates? This happened last year in Modern Warfare 3, and I wonder if somehow, some way, things got reverted to the start of last year. And then lastly, which I hope is a bug, is down protection. This means whenever you get a kill, there's a slight delay on when you can fool somebody, and they're protected from damage. There's probably a bunch of other little things, but again, these in my opinion are the most important. I know I just spent the last 20 minutes bashing on the game, but honestly, I guess the silver lining here is that a lot of these things are fixable. Audio can be fixed, guns can be weapon balanced, delays can be removed from movement, animations can be sped up, and visuals can be decluttered. But the biggest question here is, will they actually do it?